There's a question that often arises every time Volkswagen releases an R-Line variant. Why pay more if the engine is nearly identical? And that question becomes even more relevant when we're talking about the 2026 VW T-Roc R-Line, because on paper, it looks like a regular T-Roc with a sportier, slightly more aggressive touch, and of course, a correspondingly higher price tag. So today, we're not just talking about looks, we're discussing whether this car actually feels more expensive or just looks more expensive. From the outside, the 2026 T-Roc R-Line immediately makes a different impression. The front bumper is more pronounced, the gloss black accents are more prominent, the wheels are larger, and the R-Line details make it appear lower and wider visually. This car isn't trying to be as extreme as the full performance R version, but it clearly wants to look more confident than the standard variant. And this is where Volkswagen's strengths come into play. The design is understated. There aren't many strange lines or dramatic creases. Everything looks clean, solid, and precise. There's a distinctly German build quality feel that feels neat and well thought out. Even when parked, the T-Roc R-Line has a strong aura without being overbearing. Step inside the cabin and the feel immediately shifts to a sportier one. The steering wheel features an R logo, seats with contrasting accents, aluminum pedals, and interior trim feel more premium than the standard version. The materials feel solid, the panels are precise, and everything feels tightly fitted. The infotainment screen is now more modern and responsive. The interface is smoother than the first-generation T-Roc. And interestingly, even though many systems are digital, Volkswagen has maintained ergonomics. Important buttons are still easy to reach without having to divert attention from the road for too long. The seating position is typical of a European compact SUV. It's not as high as a large SUV, but it provides good visibility. You feel like you're sitting in the car, not above it, which creates a greater sense of control while driving. So how does it feel on the road? As soon as you start moving, the 2026 T-Roc R-Line immediately feels solid. The steering wheel has just the right amount of weight, not too light, not too heavy. The response is precise, and there's a nice mechanical feel in the hand. The engine, depending on the market, it can be a 1.4 TSI or a mild 2.0 TSI, remains smooth and responsive. Acceleration is brisk enough for everyday use. Even a pleasant feeling when the accelerator pedal is pressed deeper in. The dual-clutch transmission works quickly and with almost no lag. But let's be honest, this isn't a high-performance T-Roc R. It's not a hot SUV that will have you glued to your seat every time you accelerate. The R-Line is more about feel and looks, not bursts of power. The real draw is the handling. The R-Line suspension feels slightly stiffer than the standard variant. Body roll is more controlled. When cornering quickly, the car feels stable and confident. On highways, it feels planted, and on winding roads, it feels sharper than most compact SUVs. The trade-off, however, is clear. On rough or bumpy roads, you'll feel the road surface more clearly. Not to the point of being distracting, but enough to remind you that this is the sportier variant. And here's where the dilemma arises. Is this slightly sharper driving feel enough to justify the price difference? Because rationally speaking, the standard variant is probably sufficient for most people. It's still comfortable, still powerful, and still looks modern. But cars are rarely bought based solely on rationality. The T-Roc R-Line offers something that can't be quantified in a brochure: feeling. The feeling that you've chosen something a little more special, a little more different, a little more expressive. This car feels like the choice for someone who doesn't want to be too flashy, but also doesn't want to be too ordinary. The cabin quality conveys a consistent premium feel. The soundproofing is good, the audio system feels solid, and overall, the driving experience feels mature. Not dramatic, not overdone, but mature. And perhaps that's the best word for the 2026 T-Roc R-Line, mature. It's not trying to be revolutionary. It's not trying to be the fastest or the cheapest. It sits in the middle, offering a balance of style, ample performance, and signature Volkswagen quality. So is it worth the extra price? The answer depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for the best value for money, the standard variant might be sufficient. But if you value design details, slightly sharper handling, and a slightly more exclusive aura, then the R-Line starts to make sense. Because ultimately, a car isn't just about horsepower or screen size. It's about how it makes you feel every time you get in, close the door, and start driving.